Hello, students. Welcome to EasyElimu, Learning Simplified. I am your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. So, dear students, on to the chapter summaries of Fathers of Nations. Today, we are looking at the episodes in chapter 9. So, before we get to look at the some of the episodes that we have in chapter 9, it is wise to remind ourselves about some of the episodes that we were able to come across in chapter 8 of the novel Fathers of Nations. So, dear students, chapter 8 talked about Pastor Chineke Chiamaka, and there were two major episodes that we are able to identify. So, the first episode that we talked about in chapter 8 was about that is Chineke Chiamaka, that is the reckless driver. So in chapter 8 we talked about a guy or a character, sorry, by the name Chineke Chiamaka, who is said to be a reckless driver. So later on, Chineke Chiamaka turns to religion and now becomes Pastor Chineke Chiamaka, which brought us to the second episode in chapter 8. So, dear students, brace up for chapter 9 because in chapter 9 we have got two interesting episodes, and the first episode is that is love for the Libyan leader, and the next episode in this chapter, that is chapter 9, is the accident. So, this episode, the two episodes in chapter 9 talks about the life of one engineer, Saif Tahir. So, engineer Saif Tahir uh, is a Libyan citizen. So, as the chapter begins, we are told that engineer Saif Tahir leaves Libya to go to University of Paris to study weapons development. So this is after graduating from Abdelaziz Academy. Now, during this time, there are some, skeptics who scoffed engineer Saif Tahir about, about his path. But he responded to them by telling them that a time would come when he would use his skills to build real weapons for his country, Libya. So this happens because in his dreams, that is as a child, he once thought of helping his country in a way. So he went to University of Paris to study weapons development, and later on felt like this skill that he had acquired could be put into use to help Libya do what? Develop weapons, or rather make weapons or build weapons for the country. So, still in this episode, there was a celebration of the Libyan leader. So this celebration was all about him being, the leader being in power for 20 years. So during the celebration, dear students, there were some people from the opposition who expected the Libyan leader to announce when he would be stepping down. But what happened? In this scenario, or in this case, is that engineer Saif Tahir dismissed the opposition, or those who had got different opinions about the Libyan leader. So he dismissed the opposition who expected the leader to announce when you'd step down. So Engineer Saif Tahir dismissed them by calling them crackpots that should be ignored. So it means that he really loved this leader and felt like this leader had got some strategies that would ensure that Libya is at the right place. And that is what is happening. So we are told that Engineer Tahir believed the leader had the right strategies for Libya. So he echoes some of the Libyan leaders' achievements. One of them being closing down all foreign military bases. That is after the Libyan leader had closed down all foreign military bases. Another achievement that Engineer Saif Tahir talked about was nationalizing the foreign businesses in Libya. And again, another achievement that Engineer Saif Tahir acknowledged was discovering of petrol reserves. So the Libyan leader discovered petrol reserves to prove that the country had oil in addition to what? In addition to sand. But that is not enough, dear students. That is not enough. There is a nuclear program that was in place in the country that also would produce ultimate weapons to defeat and deter some offenses. So it was called Feast of Allah. So Engineer Tahir also felt that the Libyan leader gave full financial support, to this nuclear program that was called the Feast of Allah. So this made him love the Libyan leader more, feeling that there was some full financial support to the Feast of Allah that he joined, that he also joined after returning from overseas to put now the skills that he had acquired at the University of Paris to help Libya in building weapons. However, dear students, so that is a transitional word. So when I say however, expect different things or different ideologies, some contrasting ideas. So he was disappointed. So however, Engineer Saif Tahir was disappointed after the Feast of Allah was dismantled by the same leader. So the reason why the Feast of Allah was dismantled by the leader was to shield, Libya from America's revenge after Al Qaeda struck on the Americans. So the Al Qaeda attacked America. So because of the fear of this attack, the leader was forced to dismantle the Feast of Allah to shield the country. So this was a disappointment to one Engineer Saif Tahir, dear students. So we are told that he became so angry, and this was the beginning of Engineer Saif Tahir's dislike for the leader of Libya. So the next episode in this chapter, dear students, is about the accident. So we are told that when the dismantling of Feast of Allah occurred, so during this time, Engineer Tahir fell in love with a female colleague. And who is the name of this female colleague, dear students? We are now coming across a new character by the name Rahma Mahmood. Rahma Mahmood. So Engineer Tahir wrongly thought that uh, the female colleague by the name Rahma Mahmood, uh, rejected his offer. That is, he wanted to take the younger female colleague for an out, which uh, engineer Saif Tahir misinterpreted. So he misinterpreted, sorry, a yes for a no. So after that, uh, the response that came from Engineer Saif Tahir was violent. So he responded violently. That is after the misinterpretation of the response given by Rama Mahmood. So he responded violently, and as a result, slapped Rama Mahmood in the name of administering discipline. And the reason why he did all this is because that is the female colleague Rama Mahmood did what? Uh, she was shedding a head veil in public, which was, against the societal norms in the country. So it was a vengeful act against someone he thought had rejected his invitation to an outing. So this female colleague, that is Rama Mahmood, struck back. That is, she retaliated and hit uh, Engineer Tahir's left eye, leaving it open. So dear students, this made Engineer Saif Tahir to become bitter. So he took Rama Mahmood to court after a month being in the hospital as a result of the injury that he received on the left eye. So he took the female colleague to court based on the Hammurabi verdict that an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, meaning that when I take a portion of your meal, then you will also have to take a portion of my what? A portion of my meal. So that is an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. So the court made a ruling that Rama had also to lose an eye through surgery uh, as a result of, striking back and hitting Engineer Saif Tahir's left eye, leaving it open. So the next thing is that Engineer Saif Tahir is gloomy after all the disappointments. So he refuses to shake off uh, even after being helped by his friends. So the friends intervened. They thought that they could help, but Engineer Saif Tahir refused to shake off. So that is the end of that chapter, and thank you for keeping it easy, Elimu. Until next time.